The hotel bar was too quiet for Julia's rage. She sat at the polished mahogany bar, designer dress wrinkled, mascara streaking down her cheeks, and absolutely did not care who saw her falling apart. Her fourth whiskey burned going down, but not enough to erase the image. Woo-jin and Minji tangled in her sheets, her bed, using her vanilla candles. 3 months. They'd been screwing behind her back for 3 months. Another, she told the bartender, voice rough. Double. He hesitated. She glared. He poured. Her tab, a smooth voice said from down the bar. Put it on mine. Julia's head snapped up, ready to verbally destroy whoever thought she needed saving. A black card slid across the bar centurion. Her eyes tracked to its owner. Unfair. That was the only word. Sharp jawline, dark eyes that saw everything, 3-piece suit that cost more than her rent. He looked like old money and bad decisions wrapped in Italian wool. I don't need your pity, she said coldly. Good. He moved to the seat beside her with fluid confidence. I'm not offering pity. Then what? You saw a drunk girl and thought you'd play hero. His lips curved. I saw someone having a worse night than me. Thought we could be miserable together. Despite everything, Julia laughed, sharp and bitter. Trust me, pretty boy. Your night wasn't worse. Try me. He signaled the bartender, ordered expensive whiskey. I'm Nam-joon. She shouldn't engage. Every instinct screamed danger. But careful had gotten her cheated on anyway. Julia, she said, taking the glass. Caught my boyfriend with my best friend. In my bed. Using my candles. The candles are the real crime. She actually smiled. Right? My nephew's an idiot too, he offered. I have to clean his mess constantly. They talked. He made her laugh, real laughs that surprised her. The whiskey helped, but this stranger with his dry humor helped more. The air shifted, charged. You know what I want? Julia leaned closer, voice low. Something reckless. Something I'll regret. Something that has nothing to do with him. Nam-joon's eyes darkened. I have a suite upstairs. Every rational thought screamed no. But rational had failed her. Show me, she whispered. He stood, offered his hand. Last chance. She took it. I'm done being careful. His smile was dangerous, promising. Then let's be reckless. The elevator doors closed. She kissed him, hungry, desperate. He tasted like whiskey and bad decisions. The doors opened on the 23rd floor. Neither of them looked back. Hey darlings, welcome to another wonderful forbidden story. Before we go ahead, kindly like and smash the subscribe button because this story is different. Comment where you're watching from and tell me, would you have a one-night stand out of rage just to spite your ex? Let's rewind to how it all started. The bedroom door swung open. Julia froze, Thai takeout bag slipping from her fingers. The containers hit the hardwood floor, pad thai exploding, peanut sauce splattering like abstract art across her expensive rug. But she didn't notice. Because there, in her bed, tangled in her sheets, was her boyfriend Woo-jin. And her best friend Minji. Time shattered into fragments. Minji's red bra on the floor. Woo-jin's mouth falling open, his perfect hair disheveled. The vanilla candle, her candle, burning on the nightstand like this was some romantic fucking moment. Julia, Woo-jin scrambled up, sheet barely covering his naked body. His voice cracked. This isn't what? The words came out cold, detached, like they belonged to someone else. Isn't you screwing my best friend in my bed? Minji clutched the sheet to her chest, mascara already running. Uni, please, we didn't mean. Don't you dare call me Uni right now. Julia's laugh came out sharp enough to cut. What, you tripped? Fell on his dick? Multiple times. Baby, listen, Woo-jin reached toward her. She stepped back like he was radioactive. Touch me and I'll break your fingers. He actually flinched. Good. It just happened, he stammered, running a hand through his hair, that nervous act she used to find cute. It didn't mean anything. Oh, fantastic. That makes it so much better. She grabbed her favorite coffee mug from the dresser and hurled it at the wall. The ceramic exploded in a satisfying crash. How long? Silence stretched like taffy. I said, how long? Minji's voice came out small, broken. 3 months. 3 months. 3 months of girls' nights where Minji helped her pick out lingerie for Woojin. 3 months of double dates of Woojin kissing Julia goodbye while probably texting Minji. 3 months of being the punchline to a joke she didn't know she was in. The betrayal hit her in waves. Not just Woojin, she'd dated trash before. But Minji. Her ride or die since college. The girl who'd held her hair back when she was sick, who'd taught her to make kimchi, who'd sworn they'd be each other's maids of honor. That hurt worse than anything. We're done. Her voice came out steady, lethal. Pack your shit, Woojin. I want you gone by tomorrow. Julia, please, we can work this out. And you. She turned to Minji, who was full-on sobbing now. Crocodile tears. Lose my number. Lose my address. Lose my entire existence. You're dead to me. Both of you. She walked out before they could see her break. The Seoul night swallowed her whole. Neon signs blurred through her tears, red, blue, pink, all bleeding together like watercolors. Couples walked past holding hands, laughing at private jokes. A street vendor called out, trying to sell her hotdog. The sweet cinnamon smell made her stomach turn. Her phone vibrated nonstop in her purse. She pulled it out at a crosswalk, visions swimming. Woojin, please can we talk? Woojin, I love you. Woojin, she means nothing. Then, Minji, I'm so sorry. Minji, please don't hate me. Minji, uni please. Julia's thumb hovered over the block button. Then she did something better. She turned off her phone completely. Let them panic. She kept walking, no destination, just movement. Her feet hurt in these heels, but she didn't care. The physical pain was almost welcome, something concrete to focus on besides the gaping hole in her chest. Hey, are you okay? An elderly woman at a pojangmaka stall was staring at her with concern. Julia caught her reflection in the window, mascara streaked down her brown skin, eyes puffy, lipstick smudged. She looked like a disaster. I'm fine, she lied in Korean, voice cracking. The woman didn't look convinced, but handed her a tissue anyway. Men are trash. Despite everything, Julia laughed. It came out watery, broken. You have no idea. She stumbled away, tissue pressed to her eyes. A group of college students nearly crashed into her. They were too busy taking selfies to notice her meltdown. She sidestepped them, tripped over absolutely nothing, and face-planted into a businessman's shoulder. I'm so sorry. She apologized automatically, mortified. He studied her with one hand, looked at her ruined face, and quickly walked away. Yeah, she was that much of a mess. This was humiliating. She was 28, successful, had her shit together, or so she'd thought. Now she was crying on a Seoul street corner like a K-drama cliché, and she didn't even have the dignity to do it prettily. Her feet carried her to Gangnam without conscious thought. The neighborhood pulsed with wealth and excess, designer stores, luxury cars, clubs with lines around the block. Everything glittered, expensive and untouchable. A sleek black building caught her eye. Club Nexus in subtle gold lettering. The kind of place where drinks cost more than her phone bill. Perfect. She was going to get spectacularly drunk and forget this night ever happened. The bouncer took one look at her, probably saw her designer dress and heels despite the mascara disaster, and waved her through. The club hit her like a physical force. Bass thundered through the floor, vibrating in her bones. Purple and blue lights cut through manufactured fog. Beautiful people danced, drank, laughed. Everyone looked like they'd stepped out of a music video. Julia beelined for the bar. The bartender was mixing something complicated, bottle flipping included. She caught his eye. Soju. The whole bottle. He raised an eyebrow. Rough night. You have no idea. ID? She slapped her alien registration card on the bar. He glanced at it, then at her face, and slid over a bottle of Camisole Fresh with a shot glass. On the house, he said, almost kindly. You look like you need it. Julia poured with shaking hands, threw back the shot. The soju burned going down, sharp and clean. She poured another. Then another. You might want to pace yourself. The voice came from her left, smooth, deep, with the kind of accent that said international schools and old money. She turned. And oh, the man sitting 2 seats down was unfair. That was the only word for it. Sharp jawline that could cut glass, dark eyes that seemed to see everything, black hair swept back perfectly. He wore a 3-piece suit like it was casual Friday, watch glinting on his wrist, Patek Philippe, if she wasn't mistaken. He looked expensive. Dangerous. Like he'd never had a problem he couldn't buy or intimidate his way out of. "I'm sorry," Julia said, hearing the bite in her voice. "Are you my therapist?" "No? Then mind your business." His lips curved. Not quite a smile, but close. "Fair enough." She poured another shot, downed it. The room was starting to blur at the edges in a pleasant way. "Bad breakup?" he asked, swirling amber liquid in a crystal glass. "How'd you guess?" Sarcasm dripped from every word. Was it the crying? The drinking? The general aura of disaster? All of the above. He took a sip of his drink, whiskey, probably something aged and obscenely expensive. "Want to talk about it?" "Not particularly." She turned to him fully, sized him up. "What about you? What's a guy like you doing drinking alone?" "Maybe I had a bad night too." "In a suit that costs more than my rent?" "Sure." That almost smile deepened. "Money doesn't solve everything," says every rich person ever. But she was smiling too, just a little. "Let me guess, your stocks are down?" "Your Ferrari's in the shop." "Close." "My nephew is an idiot." Julia snort-laughed, immediately clapping a hand over her mouth. "Okay, that's fair. I can relate. My boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, is also an idiot. Caught him with my best friend. In my bed. Using my candles. The candles are the real crime. Right?" She gestured wildly, nearly knocking over the soju bottle. He caught it smoothly, slid it back. "Those were expensive. Yankee Candle doesn't grow on trees." "Unforgivable," he agreed, deadpan. She laughed again, real this time. When was the last time she'd laughed tonight? It felt like betraying her heartbreak, but God, it also felt good. "I'm Julia," she offered, words slurring just slightly. "Nam-joon." He extended a hand. His grip was warm, firm, and sent electricity up her arm. She held on maybe a second too long. The air between them shifted. "So, Julia." The way he said her name, slight accent wrapping around the syllables, did things to her. "What's your plan? Drink yourself into oblivion?" "That's the idea, yeah." "Terrible plan. You have a better one?" His eyes held hers, dark and intense. "Several." Her breath caught. This was dangerous. He was a stranger. She was drunk, heartbroken, vulnerable, all the things her mother warned her about. Every rational brain cell screamed to walk away. But Woo Jin had ripped her heart out. Minji had twisted the knife. She was tired of being rational, being careful, being the good girl who got cheated on. She wanted to do something reckless. "Tell me," she heard herself say. Nam-joon leaned closer. He smelled like expensive cologne and danger. "I could tell you. Or I could show you." It wasn't smooth. It was direct, almost blunt. But something about his confidence, the way he looked at her like she was the only person in this packed club, it made her feel powerful instead of pathetic. "Show me," she whispered. He stood, offered his hand. "You sure?" "No. Absolutely not." This was insane. Yes. The elevator ride to his penthouse was a blur of heated kisses and wandering hands. He lived in one of those buildings where you needed a special key just to access the top floor. The doors opened directly into his apartment, floor-to-ceiling windows overlooking Seoul's glittering skyline, furniture that screamed interior designer, art that was definitely real and definitely expensive. Julia didn't care about any of it. She pulled him to her, kissing him hard. He tasted like whiskey and bad decisions. His hands found her waist, her hips, pulling her flesh against him. "Bedroom," she managed between kisses. "Down the hall." They barely made it, leaving a trail of clothing, her heels, his jacket, her dress unzipped and falling. He lifted her easily, her legs wrapping around his waist. The bedroom was all dark sheets and city lights filtering through open curtains. He laid her down gently despite the urgency, and for a moment just looked at her. "Beautiful," he murmured. Something in her chest ached. When was the last time Woo-jin had looked at her like that? She pulled him down, kissing away the thought. Tonight wasn't about Woo-jin. It wasn't about Min-ji or betrayal or heartbreak. Tonight was about forgetting. His mouth traced down her neck, her collarbone. His hands were everywhere, confident and careful. She arched into him, gasping. "Tell me if you want to stop," he said against her skin. "Don't you dare stop." So he didn't. Sunlight sliced through the curtains like a knife to the brain. Julia groaned, squinting against the brightness. Her head throbbed, soju revenge, predictable and brutal. She was in a massive bed, sheets that felt like liquid silk, in a room she definitely didn't recognize. Oh God. Memories crashed back in vivid detail. The club. The stranger, Nam-joon. The elevator. The bedroom. Multiple times in the bedroom. She sat up quickly, immediately regretting it as the room spun. She was wearing an oversized dress shirt, his, presumably, that smelled like that expensive cologne. Nam-joon stood by the windows, fully dressed in different suit, talking quietly in Korean on his phone. His back was to her, shoulders broad under the tailored fabric. "Handle it. I don't care what it costs. Just make it disappear." A pause. "Good. I'll be there in an hour." He ended the call, turned. Caught her staring. "Good morning," he said, like this was normal. Like she hadn't just had the most impulsive night of her life. "Morning," she croaked. Where are my clothes?" "Cleaning service. They'll be ready in 20 minutes. He gestured to a coffee cup on the nightstand. "Americano. You seemed like an Americano person." He was right. She was. How did he? "Look," Julia started, wrapping the sheet around herself. "Last night was. I mean, I was drunk and upset and—" "You don't have to explain." His voice was kind, which somehow made it worse. "Bad breakup, impulsive decision." "I get it." She should have felt relieved. Instead, she felt strangely disappointed. "I should go," she said. "Stay for breakfast at least." "I really can't." "Julia." The way he said her name stopped her. "It's just breakfast." 20 minutes later, she was sitting at his dining table, actual marble, because of course, eating jjiranmari and rice while wearing her cleaned dress. The food was amazing, probably made by a private chef somewhere in this ridiculous apartment. They ate in comfortable silence. "Can I ask you something?" Nam-joon said finally. "Sure. Do you regret it?" She considered lying. Instead, "No. I needed it." "Does that make me terrible?" "It makes you human." He poured her more tea. "Your ex is an idiot, by the way." Despite everything, she smiled. "Yeah, he really is." Her phone, which Nam-joon had apparently plugged in to charge, thoughtful, buzzed with approximately 8 million notifications. She turned it off again. "I should really go," she said, standing. He walked her to the door, called the elevator. When it arrived, she hesitated. "Thank you," she said. "For everything. Take care of yourself, Julia." The doors closed. She leaned against the wall, exhaled. That was done. A crazy story to laugh about years from now. She'd never see him again. Right? 2 weeks passed in a haze of blocked numbers and avoided places. Julia threw herself into work. She was a marketing manager for a skincare company, and a product launch gave her the perfect excuse to work 14-hour days. No time to think about Woo-jin. Or Min-ji. Or mysterious strangers in penthouses. Then Woo-jin showed up at her office. "We need to talk," he said, looking like he hadn't slept. "Good. No, we don't." She didn't even look up from her computer. "I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. It was a mistake." "Woo-jin, I'm working. Please. Just, my family is having a dinner. My uncle is in town, he wants to meet you. Please come. Let me show you I'm trying." She finally looked at him. "You want me to have dinner with your family? After you cheated on me?" I know it sounds crazy, but he ran his hands through his hair. "My uncle, he's really important to my family." If you meet him, maybe you'll see I'm serious about making this right. This is insane. I know. But please. One dinner. If you still hate me after, I'll leave you alone forever. She should have said no. Should have kicked him out of her office. But a petty part of her wanted to show up, show them she was fine. Better than fine. Thriving. Fine. One dinner. Then you delete my number. His face lit up. Thank you. Thank you so much. It's this Friday at Mingles. The Michelin star place? Yeah. 7 p.m. I'll text you the details. Don't bother. I'll be there. Then we're done. He left looking hopeful. What an idiot. Friday came too fast. Julia dressed carefully, a black dress that hugged every curve, heels that added 3 inches, makeup that said, "I'm doing amazing without you." War paint. Mingles was tucked in Cheongdam, all understated elegance and hushed conversations. The hostess led her to a private room where Woo Jin's family waited. His parents stiff, polite smiles. His younger sister looking uncomfortable. Woo Jin himself, fidgeting. Julia. His mother stood, embraced her. So good to see you, dear. Liar. She'd never liked Julia, the black girl dating her precious son. But appearances mattered. And my brother should be here there he is. The door opened. Julia turned. Time stopped. Nam-joon walked in, expensive suit, that same confident stride. His eyes found hers. She watched recognition hit him like a physical blow. Everyone, Woo Jin's father announced proudly, "This is my younger brother, Park Nam-joon. He's been in the States handling business." Nam-joon's expression was unreadable. "Good to meet you all." "And this," Woo Jin said, grabbing Julia's hand, she almost jerked away, "is my girlfriend, Julia." Actually, she corrected, voice icy, ex-girlfriend. Awkward silence. Nam-joon's eyes hadn't left her face. She stared back, heart hammering, mind racing. This couldn't be happening. The man she'd had a one-night stand with, her ex-boyfriend's uncle. Oh, this was bad. This was so bad. Dinner was torture. 7 courses of exquisite food that tasted like ash in Julia's mouth. She sat across from Nam-joon, who maintained perfect composure while she internally combusted. "So, Nam-joon Hyung," Woo Jin said between courses, "Julia and I are working through some things, but I'm confident we'll get back together." "Is that so?" Nam-joon's voice was neutral. His eyes flicked to Julia. "And what does Julia think?" "That Woo Jin is delusional," she said sweetly. Woo Jin's mother made a disapproving sound. "Young people these days." "What happened?" Nam-joon asked, like he didn't know, like they hadn't discussed this exact thing. "Just a misunderstanding," Woo Jin rushed to say. "He fucked my best friend," Julia said bluntly. Shocked silence. "In my bed. For 3 months." Woo Jin's mother looked ready to faint. His father's jaw clenched. His sister was openly staring. Nam-joon's expression didn't change, but something dangerous flashed in his eyes. "I see," he said quietly. "That's not a misunderstanding, nephew. That's betrayal." "Hyung." "No," Nam-joon's voice cut like steel. "You disrespected this woman. Your family, yourself. Don't minimize it." Woo Jin looked like he'd been slapped. Julia felt a rush of satisfaction, and something else, warm and dangerous, at Nam-joon defending her. The dinner limped to its conclusion. Julia made excuses to leave early. "I'll walk you out," Nam-joon said. "That's not necessary. I insist." Outside, the Seoul night was cool, streets busy with Friday night crowds. They walked in silence to the curb. "So," Nam-joon finally said. "This is unfortunate. That's one word for it." Julia laughed, slightly hysterical. "I slept with my ex's uncle. This is a K-drama. This is an actual K-drama. You didn't know. Neither did you." She looked at him. "Did you?" No, his gaze was steady. "I wouldn't have. If I'd known, I wouldn't have approached you." "Right. Because this is complicated." Understatement of the century. A black car pulled up, sleek, expensive, probably his. The driver got out, opened the door. "Julia," Nam-joon said. "What happened between us was a one-time thing. I know. We forget about it. Can you? The question hung in the air. No. She couldn't. She'd tried for 2 weeks and failed. It doesn't matter, she said instead. We can't. You're his uncle. He cheated on you. Still. Nam-joon stepped closer. She could smell his cologne, feel his body heat. If circumstances were different. But they're not. No, he agreed. They're not. He reached out, tucked a strand of braids behind her ear. The gesture was gentle, intimate. Her breath caught. Good night, Julia. He got in the car. It pulled away, taillights disappearing into traffic. Julia stood there, heart racing, mind spinning. She was so screwed. Nam-joon didn't forget about it. He showed up at her office Monday with coffee, her favorite, Americano with a shot of vanilla. How did he even know where she worked? We need to talk, he said. I'm busy, she lied, staring at her computer. No, you're not. You're scrolling Instagram. Busted. She closed the tab. What do you want? Have lunch with me? Absolutely not. Dinner? No. Coffee? You're already drinking it. She set down the cup. Nam-joon. I can't stop thinking about you. Her heart stuttered. Don't. Don't what? Tell the truth. He leaned against her desk, too close, too confident. That night meant something. It was sex. It was more. You're his uncle. And he's an idiot who lost you. Nam-joon's voice dropped. His loss. Not mine. This is insane. When's your lunch break? I'm not having lunch with you. 12:30? I'll be downstairs. He left before she could argue. At 12:30, she told herself she wasn't going down. At 12:35, she grabbed her purse. He was leaning against a Maserati, looking like every cliché and somehow pulling it off. When he saw her, his smile was genuine, warm. I knew you'd come. I haven't agreed to anything. Yet? He opened the door. She got in, already regretting everything. Lunch was at a quiet restaurant in Samcheong-dong, all traditional architecture and private rooms. They ordered jeokbakyum and japchae, sat across from each other like this was a date. This is a bad idea, Julia said. Probably. Woo-jin will find out. Do you care? Don't you? Nam-joon considered. My nephew made his choices. I'm making mine. Which is? Getting to know you. Properly this time. We already know each other pretty well, she said dryly. He laughed, real surprised. Fair. But I want more than that. More sex. More of you. Well, including the sex. It was too honest, too direct. She didn't know what to do with it. Tell me about yourself, he said. Not the heartbroken girl at the club. The real you. So she did. She told him about growing up in New York, moving to Seoul for work, learning Korean the hard way through dramas and embarrassing mistakes. Her love for tteokbokki at 3 a.m., her minor skincare addiction, her dream of starting her own marketing firm someday. He told her about growing up between Seoul and New York, the weight of family expectations, the business he'd built, though he stayed vague on details. What kind of business? She asked. Import-export. That's delightfully mysterious. I'm a private person. I noticed. They talked for 2 hours. She missed an afternoon meeting. Didn't even care. When he dropped her back at work, she hesitated before getting out. This is still a bad idea, she said. I know. I should say no. You should. But I'm not going to, am I? His smile was slow, devastating. No, you're not. She kissed him, quick, impulsive, pulling away before she could overthink it. Tomorrow, she said. Same time. I'll be waiting. They fell into a rhythm. Lunches turned into dinners. Dinners turned into long walks along the Han River, her hand in his, talking about everything and nothing. He made her laugh, dry humor, unexpected observations. She challenged him, called him out when he was being too serious. It was easy. Too easy. I still don't know what you actually do, she said one night, curled up on his couch after dinner. He'd cooked galbi-jim that melted off the bone. I told you. Import-export. That's not a real answer. It's the answer you're getting. But he said it lightly, pulling her closer. She let it go. For now. Then came the message that changed everything. You should ask your boyfriend what he really does for a living. An anonymous text. She stared at it. Who is this? Unknown. A friend. Check the Blue Dragon warehouse in Yongsan tonight. 10 p.m. You'll understand. Every instinct screamed trap. She went anyway. The warehouse was exactly what she expected, decrepit, dark, in a part of Yongsan even taxi drivers avoided. Julia parked down the street, questioned all her life choices. Her phone buzzed. Nam-joon, where are you? Shit. She told him she had a late work meeting. Julia, still at office. Might be a while. Nam-joon, want me to bring food? Julia, I'm good. Talk later. She silenced her phone, approached the warehouse. Voices inside, Korean, rapid, angry. She crept to a grimy window, peered through, and froze. Nam-joon stood in the center of the space, surrounded by men in dark suits. Not a business meeting. Something harder, more dangerous. Money was being counted. A lot of money. Guns visible on several hips. Did you handle the shipment? Nam-joon asked in Korean. Yes, Hyungnim. Everything's moved. The Russians won't be a problem. Good. And the prosecutor? Paid off. He'll bury the investigation. Julia's blood ran cold. This wasn't import-export. This was organized crime. Nam-joon was what? Mafia? A crime boss? One of the men looked toward the window. She ducked, heart hammering, pressed against the wall. What was that? Footsteps approaching. Julia ran. She made it to her car, hands shaking so badly she almost couldn't get the key in the ignition. She peeled out, didn't stop until she was 3 neighborhoods away. Then she pulled over and threw up in an alley. Nam-joon was a criminal. She'd been dating a criminal. Her phone wouldn't stop buzzing, him, probably wondering why she wasn't responding. She turned it off, drove home on autopilot, triple-locked her door. Sleep didn't come. At 3 a.m., someone knocked. She looked through the peephole. Nam-joon. I know you're awake, he said calmly. Open the door, Julia. Go away. I'm not leaving until we talk. About what? Your import-export business. She couldn't keep the venom from her voice. Or should we call it what it is? Silence. Then, you followed me. Someone told me to. Who? Does it matter? Is it true? More silence. Open the door, he said finally. Please. Against every shred of self-preservation, she did. He looked tired, dangerous, still in the clothes from the warehouse. His eyes found hers. Yes, he said simply. It's true. The confirmation shouldn't have hurt, she'd seen it herself. But hearing him say it made it real. You lied to me. I omitted. There's a difference. Bullshit. What did you want me to say? His voice rose slightly. First date conversation, by the way, I run one of the largest criminal organizations in Seoul. You could have told me before she couldn't finish. Before you what? Fell for me. He stepped closer. She stepped back. Would it have changed anything? Yes. I don't believe you. You don't know me. I know you better than he ever did. Nam-joon's jaw clenched. I know you hate morning small talk but love terrible puns. That you stress-eat honey butter chips. That you cry at animal rescue videos but pretend you don't. That when you're really happy, you do this little dance. Stop. Why? Because it's inconvenient? Because I'm not the man you thought I was. Because you're a criminal. She was shouting now. You hurt people. You break the law. I protect my people. I run legitimate businesses. Yes, some of my income is gray area. But I don't deal drugs, don't traffic people, don't prey on the weak. I have lines I don't cross. Oh, how noble. I'm not asking you to think I'm noble. He was in her space now, close enough to touch. I'm asking you to see me. All of me. Not the fantasy, not the villain. Me. She wanted to push him away. She grabbed his collar and kissed him instead. It was angry, desperate, full of everything she couldn't say. He kissed back just as fiercely, hands in her braids, backing her against the wall. I hate you, she gasped against his mouth. No, you don't. I should. But you don't. He was right. God help her, he was right. They made it to the bedroom, shedding clothes and inhibitions. When he moved above her, eyes dark and intense, she felt raw, exposed, seen. "Tell me to stop," he murmured against her skin. "If this is too much, tell me to stop." "Don't," she breathed. "Don't stop." Afterward, lying tangled in sheets, reality crept back in. "What now?" she whispered. "Now." Nam-joon traced patterns on her shoulder. "Now you decide if you can handle my world. Because I won't lie to you again. This is what I am. Who I am. And if I can't? Then I'll walk away." He tilted her chin up, made her meet his eyes. "But I really hope you don't ask me to." She closed her eyes. This was insane. Dating a crime boss. Getting involved in God knew what kind of danger. But she'd already fallen. The question was, how far was she willing to go? Juliet decided to stay. Not because it was smart, it absolutely wasn't. But because when she imagined her life without Nam-joon, it felt hollow. Like going back to black and white after seeing color. So she made rules. "I don't want to know the details," she told him over breakfast 3 days later. They were at his place. She'd basically moved in without acknowledging it. "Your business stuff. I don't want specifics." "All right. But you have to promise me no drugs, no human trafficking, nothing that hurts kids." "I already told you." "Promise me, Nam-joon." He set down his coffee, took her hands. "I promise." "On my life." She believed him. Maybe she was naive, but she believed him. "And I want to keep my life separate. My job, my friends, they don't know about this." "Done." "One more thing." She squeezed his hands. "If this gets too dangerous, if your world starts bleeding into mine in a bad way, I'm out. No arguments." Something pained crossed his face, but he nodded. "Fair." They sealed it with a kiss. For 3 weeks, it worked. Nam-joon kept his business away from her. She kept pretending she was dating a normal, if ridiculously wealthy, businessman. They had date nights, lazy Sundays, inside jokes. He met her coworker friends for drinks and charmed them effortlessly. She taught him to make mac and cheese the way her grandmother did. It was almost normal. Then Woo-jin found out. She was at a coffee shop near her office when he cornered her. "We need to talk." Woo-jin looked terrible, dark circles, rumpled clothes, desperate eyes. "I have nothing to say to you. You're sleeping with my uncle." The world tilted. "Excuse me?" "Don't lie. I had you followed." He threw photos on the table, her and Nam-joon at dinner, walking hand in hand, kissing outside her apartment. Rage, hot and immediate, flooded her. "You had me followed? You're with him to get back at me." "Oh my God." She laughed, sharp and mean. "You actually think you're that important? Thought I'd sleep with someone just to spite you." "Then why?" "He's my uncle." "Maybe because he's a better man than you'll ever be. Because he sees me, listens to me, doesn't fuck my friends behind my back." Woo-jin grabbed her wrist. "This is wrong. It's sick." She yanked free. "Touch me again and I'll break your hand." "Julia, please. We're done. We were done the second I caught you. What I do now is none of your business. He's dangerous. You don't know what he... I know exactly who he is." That stopped him. "You know about his business?" "Yes." "And you're still, Jesus, Julia, are you insane? He's a criminal. And you're a cheating piece of shit. I'll take my chances." She grabbed her bag, left him sitting there. Her hands shook the entire walk back to her office. This was it. The secret was out. Woo-jin would tell his family. His mother would lose her mind. There'd be a whole thing. Her phone rang. Nam-joon. "Hey," she answered, trying to sound normal. "Where are you?" "Work, why?" "Woo-jin knows about us." "Yeah, he just ambushed me at a cafe." "How did you?" "He called me." Screaming. Nam-joon sounded almost amused. "Called me every name in Korean and English. It was creative, I'll give him that." "This isn't funny." "No," he agreed. "It's not." "Where are you?" "I'm coming to get you." "Nam-joon, I'm at work." "Julia." His voice went serious. "Woo-jin knows. Which means my family will know by tonight. Which means this is about to get complicated. Let me pick you up. Please." She looked at her computer, the marketing report due tomorrow, her normal life. Okay, she said quietly. I'll be downstairs in 10. The car ride was tense. Nam-joon's driver, a massive man named Jean who Julia was pretty sure could kill someone with his pinky, navigated Seoul traffic while they sat in the back. Your family is going to hate me, Julia said. They'll get over it. Will they? I'm black, I'm their nephew's ex, and I'm dating you. That's like a scandal trifecta. Nam-joon took her hand. I don't care what they think. You should. Family is important in Korean culture. You think I don't know that? His jaw clenched. I've spent my entire life doing what my family wanted. Following their rules, building their empire, playing their games. For once, I'm choosing what I want. And what's that? He looked at her, eyes intense. You. Her heart did something complicated. This is going to be messy, she warned. Most good things are. They went to his place. Julia changed into comfortable clothes. Her stuff was slowly taking over his closet. Neither of them mentioned it, and tried to relax. The call came at 7 p.m. Nam-joon's phone lit up, Hyungnim, his older brother, and Woo-jin's father. He answered, switched to speaker. What the hell are you thinking? His brother's voice was ice. Woo-jin's girlfriend? His ex-girlfriend. He lost that right when he cheated on her. That's not the point. That's exactly the point. He disrespected her. I didn't. You slept with your nephew's ex-girlfriend. Nam-joon's voice was steel. They were broken up. She's a grown woman who made her own choice. This is inappropriate. Unseemly. What will people think? I genuinely don't care. Nam-joon. Yes, I've done everything you've ever asked. Built the business you wanted, handled the problems you created, cleaned up the messes. I've never asked for anything for myself. I'm asking now. Stay out of this. Silence stretched. Mom wants to see you, his brother said finally. Both of you tomorrow for lunch. We'll be there. This isn't over. I know. The line went dead. Julia let out a breath she didn't know she'd been holding. Well, that went badly. Could have been worse. How? He could have disowned me. Nam-joon pulled her into his lap, wrapped his arms around her. He didn't. Yet? Even if he does, he tilted her chin up. You're worth it. She kissed him, soft and sweet, trying to memorize the moment before everything went to hell. Nam-joon's mother lived in Pyeongchang, in a hanok that probably cost more than a small country. Julia wore her most conservative dress, minimal makeup, hair in a neat bun like armor. You look terrified, Nam-joon observed, adjusting his tie in the car mirror. I am terrified. Your mom is going to eat me alive. She's going to try. Don't let her. Easy for you to say. He caught her hand, kissed her knuckles. I've got you. I promise. Jean parked. They walked to the door together. Nam-joon's mother answered, elegant, cold, looking at Julia like she was something unpleasant on her shoe. Hello, Mum, Nam-joon greeted, bowing. Julia followed suit. Come in, she said in Korean, tone clipped. The interior was traditional, beautiful, intimidating. They sat in the formal room, tea already prepared. Woo-jin's parents were there too. His father looked furious. His mother wouldn't meet Julia's eyes. This was an ambush. So, Nam-joon's mother began in Korean, you're the woman who has seduced my son. Mum, that's not Nam-joon started. I'm speaking to her. Julia met the older woman's gaze. I didn't seduce anyone. We met, we connected, we're dating. That's all. You dated his nephew first. And his nephew cheated on me. With my best friend. For 3 months. Woo-jin's mother flinched. That has nothing to do with Woo-jin's father began. It has everything to do with it, Julia interrupted. In Korean, to show respect but also strength. Your son betrayed me. I ended that relationship. What I do afterward is my choice. It's inappropriate, Nam-joon's mother snapped. Dating your ex's uncle is unusual, yes, but not illegal, not immoral. Woo-jin and I are done. Nam-joon and I are adults. You're using him. I make 6 figures, I have my own apartment, my own career. I don't need to use anyone. Nam-joon's hand found hers under the table. Squeezed. This is about revenge, Woo Jin's father accused. You want to hurt our son. Your son hurt himself. Julia's voice went hard. I'm not thinking about him at all. This isn't about him. It's about Nam-joon and me. You expect us to accept this? Nam-joon's mother demanded. No, Julia said honestly. I expect you to be angry, uncomfortable, upset. But I also expect you to recognize that Nam-joon is a grown man who can make his own choices. Nam-joon has responsibilities, which I fulfill, Nam-joon cut in. My personal life doesn't affect my work. It never has. This is different. Why? Because she's black? Because she used to date Woo Jin? Which part bothers you more? His mother's face tightened. Don't be crude. I'm being honest. You've never cared who I dated before. Because you never dated someone so inappropriate. Say what you mean. Nam-joon's voice dropped, dangerous. Go ahead. Tense silence. Julia stood. I think we're done here. Sit down, Nam-joon's mother ordered. No, thank you. Julia bowed politely. I appreciate you inviting me, but I won't sit here while you insult me or Nam-joon. If you decide you can treat us with respect, we'll be happy to visit again. She walked out, heart pounding. Nam-joon followed. Julia. I'm sorry. I can't just sit there and... He kissed her, hard and quick. Don't apologize. You were perfect. Behind them, shouting erupted in Korean. His family tearing into each other. We should go, he said. Yeah. In the car, Julia's hands shook. That was a disaster. That was you standing up for yourself. For us. Nam-joon pulled her close. I'm proud of you. Your mom hates me. She'll get over it. Or she won't. Either way, you're not going anywhere. Julia leaned into him, exhausted. This is so complicated. I know. Is it always going to be like this? Probably. He kissed her temple. Is that okay? She thought about it. Really thought about it. Yeah, she said finally. It's okay. 2 days later, everything went sideways. Julia was leaving work when a black van pulled up. 2 men got out, not Nam-joon's men. She knew his people by now. Miss Williams. One asked in accented English. Who's asking? Someone who wants to talk. Please come with us. Absolutely not. He pulled a gun. Not pointed at her, just visible. Please, he repeated. We don't want trouble. Every self-defense class, every true crime podcast screamed at her to run, scream, fight. But the gun was real. The street was empty. She got in the van. They drove for 20 minutes, ending up at a warehouse in Incheon. Different from Nam-joon's operation, grungier. Inside, a man waited. 50s, expensive suit, cruel eyes. Miss Williams, he greeted in perfect English. I'm sorry for the dramatic entrance. I'm Alexei Volkov. Russian mob. She'd heard Nam-joon mention them rivals, tentative truce. What do you want? She kept her voice steady. To talk about Park Nam-joon. I have nothing to say about him. Volkov smiled. You're sleeping with him. That gives you value. I'm not a bargaining chip. Everything is a bargaining chip, dear. Your boyfriend has something I want. Territory in Gangnam. He refuses to negotiate. Take it up with him. I am. Through you. Volkov circled her like a shark. You're going to convince him to give me what I want. I'm not convincing him of anything. Then you'll stay here. As my guest? Until he's more cooperative. Panic clawed at her throat. He'll come for me. I'm counting on it. Volkov's smile widened. And when he does, emotional and reckless, I'll be ready. This was a trap. She was bait. He'll kill you, she said quietly. He'll try. They locked her in a windowless room. Concrete floor, single light bulb, metal door. Julia sank onto the floor, pulled out her phone. Dead. Battery at 0. Of course. She was alone, kidnapped by Russian mobsters with no way to call for help. This was bad. This was really, really bad. Nam-joon noticed she was missing within 2 hours. She always texted when she left work. Always. When she didn't, he called. Straight to voicemail. He called Jean. Find her. Now. Jean and his team mobilized. Traffic cameras, credit card pings, Witness statements. Within an hour, they had footage. Julia getting into a black van. License plate traced to a shell company. Russian-owned. Volkov, Nam-joon said, voice like ice. Boss, this could be a trap, Jean started. I don't care. Where is she? We're tracking the van. Looks like Incheon. Near the port. Get the crew. All of them. We leave in 20 minutes. Nam-joon, think about this. I am thinking. He checked his gun, holstered it. I'm thinking Volkov just started a war. Julia lost track of time in that room. Hours? Days? The single bulb never turned off, screwing with her sense of reality. She heard voices sometimes, guards talking in Russian. Footsteps. Once, someone tried the door handle, didn't open it. Her mind spiraled. What was Nam-joon thinking? Was he planning a rescue or cutting his losses? Would she die here in a warehouse in Incheon over mob territory? She thought about her mom back in New York, who didn't even know she was dating anyone. Her coworker friends who thought she was living her best soul life. She thought about Nam-joon, his smile, his terrible dad jokes, the way he looked at her like she was the only person in the world. She refused to cry. Then, gunshots. Muffled, distant, but unmistakable. Shouting in Russian. Running footsteps. More gunshots, closer now. Julia scrambled to the corner, heart hammering. The door exploded inward. Nam-joon stood there, gun in hand, eyes wild. Blood on his shirt, not his, she didn't think. Julia. She launched herself at him. He caught her, held her tight. Are you hurt? He pulled back, checking her over. Did they touch you? I'm fine. I'm okay. How did you? Later. We need to move. He pulled her into the hallway. Bodies on the floor, guards, taken down clean. Jean and his team secured the exit. Go, Jean told Nam-joon. We'll handle cleanup. They ran. Outside, more chaos. Nam-joon's people fighting Volkov's, bullets flying. Nam-joon shielded her with his body, got her to an armored car. Drive, he barked at the driver. They peeled out. Only when they were blocks away did Julia breathe. You came for me. Of course I did. Nam-joon looked at her, expression raw. Did you think I wouldn't? I thought it could have been a trap. I don't care. You were in danger. Nothing else mattered. She kissed him, desperate and grateful and terrified. I'm sorry, he murmured against her lips. I'm so sorry. This is my fault. It's Volkov's fault. I brought you into this world. I chose to stay. She cupped his face. I chose you. This isn't on you. He closed his eyes, leaned into her touch. I could have lost you. But you didn't. They held each other a soul-blurred past, safe for now. Volkov didn't stop with one kidnapping. Over the next week, his people hit Nam-joon's businesses, arson at a nightclub, shipments intercepted, bribes doubled. A full-scale mob war. Nam-joon worked 18-hour days, strategizing, retaliating, protecting his territory. Julia barely saw him. This has to end, she said one night, watching him pore over maps and manifests at 2 a.m. It will. When Volkov backs down or dies. Nam-joon. I can't show weakness, Julia. If I do, every rival will think they can take from me. Use the people I love to control me. He looked up, exhausted. I won't let that happen. At what cost? You look like you haven't slept in days. I'm fine. You're not. He stood, pulled her into his arms. I will end this. I promise. But I need to do it right. She wanted to argue. Instead, she held him, feeling the tension in his body, the weight he carried. This was his world. Violent, dangerous, unforgiving. And she'd chosen to stay in it. The end came 2 weeks later. Nam-joon arranged a meeting, neutral ground, both sides armed, tense as hell. Julia watched from a distance, in a car with Jean. Nam-joon had forbidden her from coming, but she'd insisted. If this goes wrong, I want to be here, she'd said. He'd kissed her forehead. It won't go wrong. Volkov arrived with his crew. Nam-joon with his. They met in an empty parking garage, echoing and cold. You wanted to talk, Volkov said. Talk. You took something of mine, Nam-joon replied, voice calm. I took something of yours. He nodded to Jean, who opened a car trunk. Volkov's son stumbled out, roughed up but alive. Volkov's face went rigid. You. An eye for an eye, Nam-joon interrupted. You took my woman. I took your blood. We're even. This is not. It is. Because I could have killed him. I didn't. Professional courtesy. Nam-joon's smile was cold. But if you come after me or mine again, I won't be so courteous. Understood. Silence. Then Volkov nodded. Understood. Good. Now get the fuck out of my city. Volkov's people helped his son into a car. They left without another word. When they were gone, Nam-joon exhaled. It was over. Life slowly returned to normal. Or normalish. Nam-joon's businesses recovered. The Russians stayed in their lane. The war ended with a whimper, not a bang. Julia went back to work, pretended the past month hadn't been completely insane. But things had shifted. Nam-joon was more protective now, almost obsessive. He had security on her 24/7, tracking her location, insisting she check in constantly. This is too much, she told him after the third bodyguard appeared outside her office. It's necessary. Nam-joon, I can't live like this. I almost lost you. The rawness in his voice stopped her. I know, she said gently. But you can't keep me in a bubble. That's not living. Then what do you want? Balance. Security, yes, but also freedom. Trust that I can handle myself. He considered. Self-defense classes. What? If I'm going to give you more freedom, you learn to protect yourself. Properly. Deal. So she learned Krav Maga from one of his people, a terrifying woman named Hannah who didn't pull punches. She also learned to shoot, hated it, but understood the necessity. Nam-joon's world became hers, bit by bit. 6 months after the Volkov situation, Julia got a promotion. Senior Marketing Director. At the corner office with a team of 10. Nam-joon took her to dinner at the fanciest restaurant in Seoul to celebrate. I'm proud of you, he said, raising his wine glass. Even though it's not your world? Especially because it's not. You kept your life, your career, your independence, while dealing with all my chaos. He reached across the table, took her hand. You're remarkable. She blushed. Stop. Never. They ate hanwoo, drank expensive wine, talked about nothing important. It felt normal. Beautifully, wonderfully normal. After dinner, walking along the Han River, Nam-joon stopped. I have something for you. He pulled out a small box. Julia's heart stopped. Nam-joon. It's not what you think. Yet? He opened it. A key. Move in with me. Officially. She already spent most nights at his place, but this felt different. Permanent. You sure? She asked. Never been more sure of anything. She took the key, kissed him. Okay. Yes. His smile could have lit the whole city. Woo-jin tried one last time. He showed up at her new apartment, Nam-joon's penthouse, drunk and pathetic. Security called Nam-joon, who was out handling business. He told them to let Woo-jin up. Julia answered the door in pajamas, unimpressed. What do you want? I miss you, Woo-jin slurred. I made a mistake. You made 100 mistakes. I'm done hearing about them. He's not good for you. He's dangerous. And you were safe? You cheated on me, lied to me, stalked me. Forgive me if I don't take relationship advice from you. Julia, please. Go home, Woo-jin. Move on. I have. He looked at her, really looked, and seemed to finally understand. You love him. Yeah, I do. Something in him broke. I'm sorry. For everything. I know. Goodbye, Woo-jin. She closed the door. And that was it. Final closure on a chapter she'd already moved past. 1 year later. The rooftop garden was Julia's favorite place in the penthouse. String lights, potted plants, a view of Seoul that never got old. She sat curled up on the outdoor couch, laptop balanced on her knees, working on her business plan. She was leaving her job, starting her own marketing firm. Terrifying and exhilarating. Nam-joon emerged from inside, 2 glasses of wine in hand. Still working. Almost done. He set down the wine, wrapped a blanket around her shoulders. It's cold. It's perfect. He sat beside her, pulled her close. They watched the city together, comfortable silence stretching. My mother called, he said eventually. Yeah, she wants to have dinner. Both of us. Julia raised an eyebrow. Is this a trap? Probably. But she sounded less hostile. Character growth. I like it. Should we go? Julia considered. Nam-joon's family had been ice cold for months. But recently, small thaws, his sister adding her on KakaoTalk, his brother nodding to her at a family funeral. Sure. One dinner. If she's terrible, we leave. Deal. Her phone buzzed. Hannah texting, training tomorrow 6 a.m. Don't be late. Julia groaned. I hate morning workouts. You love them. I love the results. The actual workout is torture. Nam-joon laughed, kissed her temple. You're getting good though. Last week you almost got me in a chokehold. Almost doesn't count. It counts to me. They fell quiet again. Seoul glittered below them, millions of lives, stories, secrets. Somewhere out there, Nam-joon's empire ran smoothly. Somewhere, her old life existed, the girl who'd been cheated on and heartbroken. She barely recognized that person anymore. Hey, Nam-joon said softly. What are you thinking? That a year ago, I was crying on a street corner. And now I'm here. With you. Starting a business, learning to fight, dating a crime boss, she laughed. My life is insane. Good insane or bad insane? The best kind of insane. He turned her face toward him, kissed her slowly. I love you. I love you too. Even though I'm a criminal? Because you're a criminal. She grinned. Keeps things interesting. His phone buzzed. He glanced at it, frowned slightly. Work? She asked. Nothing urgent. Jean can handle it. You sure? Positive. He pocketed the phone, focused entirely on her. Tonight, you're all that matters. Julia leaned into him, perfectly content. This wasn't a fairy tale. It was messy, complicated, sometimes dangerous. But it was real. It was theirs. And that was enough. The city sprawled below them, beautiful, chaotic, full of possibility. Just like them. The end. If you loved this story, like, comment your favorite part and subscribe because there's more coming and you would not want to miss out. Thanks for watching.